Hello everyone, and welcome back to my book channel, YouTube channel. And I have two book reviews to do. This one I read in about 2 days, and I have mixed feelings about it, but I'll get into that. This is Fifth Ward by Dale Lucas, and this is First Watch. And then I have The Jewel Thief by Jenny Mobley, which is a book I read on Overdrive. Okay, to start off with this book, I had seen this at the very beginning of the year, and when I'd gone to my Barnes & Nobles to see if they had a copy at that time, I didn't see it, and then I went back and they had some copies for back in stock, I guess, or whatever. So as it was, I just decided to pick it up and read it, and there were some interesting things that I learned from in this book. What it kind of is intriguing to me is to have a world where fae, dwarves, and elves kind of interact together. And the thing that kind of sparked my interest was seeing the movie Bright, which is not a child's film. But it is about a young boy who escapes from his home, and he is a nobleman's son, so he has been taught in the ways of fencing, but not in the ways of the world. And so coming to the city called Yanara is kind of a wake-up call for him, because he wants to make his own way in the world without having his father's name basically setting his destiny for him. He wants to kind of divorce himself from the idea of revealing to people that he is a nobleman's son. So when he comes into the city of Yanara, he runs into this woman who is also kind of in a similar situation, but she is not the daughter of noblemen. She's still, though, very educated and wants to do her own trade. And so she is in a trade where she wants to be a scrivener, I think. And so they kind of get talking to each other, and then they agree to meet one another and have, say, lunch at an inn where she works at after she gets off. So he goes there and he can't find her. He gets into a fight with someone, and he ends up in jail. And so I'm kind of telling this backwards, because that's revealed later in the story. But he meets a dwarf named Torval, and Torval isn't what he seems. He seems really gruff and really full of anger and bitterness toward the race of orcs in this story, and but his character is not what it seems at the beginning. And so what I really liked throughout the entire story was the mystery, the intrigues of the city of Yanara, but I didn't really care for the grittier parts, like the dirtier parts. I really didn't care for that. I think the story would have been better without that, but that is my opinion. Because of that, I think I gave it between 2 to 3 stars, because I just, I don't know if I'll pick up, I don't think I'll pick up book 2 and 3, but it was still an interesting read for me, and who knows, I might change my mind someday. It shows how justice is delivered, and it actually had a happy ending. So, spoiler. I was still happy to have the opportunity to read this book and decide for myself what is intriguing. So, okay, on to this book, which is The Jewel Thief. This is set in France at the time of the Sun King, who this is the story of The Jewel Thief by Jenny Mobley, and this is taking place in the court of the Sun King, and he has been given a jewel called the Tavernier Blue or Violet, but there was an article that came out, I believe, maybe last year or a couple of years ago, that talked about this very same stone, and they verified it as the Hope Diamond. And so the Hope Diamond was also owned later by Elizabeth Taylor, given to her by her husband, Richard Burton. So this was intriguing to me because I thought to just give it a try. And I felt like the author did a good job of introducing the character to a time where there was starvation starting to come, and also the intrigues of the Sun King's court, as that was Louis XIV's title as the Sun King, and he is shown as being very vain, and so he tries to commission this girl's father to create the most brilliant cunt that there can be for the Tavernier Blue, Violet or Blue. And so the name of the jeweler was actually a real guy, according to records, that he actually existed, but whether or not he had a daughter is something that is fictional. But she learns the secrets of his trade, and he is in despair at the part of this book because the Hope Diamond, then as being uncut, was such a challenge, because if you didn't do it right, from his perspective, if you didn't cut it just the way it was supposed to be, it could ruin the entire stone. So it's basically this girl trying to keep her father together while at the same time losing her mother and her brother, and basically trying to find a means to stall time to stall so that her father can get time to get the help he needs. But he falls into depression and drinking, and so it's basically her trying to get him out of the gutter, as it were. And I felt like that kind of weighed down the story quite a bit, to show the father constantly being incompetent, and just that didn't suit well with me, because it kind of didn't progress the story faster. But I was still intrigued by the writing and the blossoming romance between the main character and her love, and so righting wrongs. And I won't say anything more than that, but I did say that I enjoyed the story, and the story of the Hope Diamond, or the Tavernier Violet. I know I'm probably just butchering that, but the Tavernier Violet in its original form was cut in such a way where if you held it up against light, it actually had a sun in the center. So it's a sun set amidst a sea of deep blue. And if I find that article, I'll link it down below. But like I said, there was something else that happened at the end of the novel of The Jewel Thief that made zero sense to me. Because she gets married, and then she decides, like, well, I'm not going to be married to you anymore. And I'm like, and yes, with the circumstances, I can understand that, but I felt like that was, didn't kind of make sense at the end. I mean, if they were so much in love and he suddenly lets her go without, making a secret code or anything. It still was an intriguing story, don't get me wrong. I just felt that kind of that was just kind of thrust in there at the end. But I still enjoyed the story. But anyway, that is my perspective, and I think that's it for now. So have a great day. Let me know what you would like to see more of, or what you did or didn't like. I'm always open to constructive criticism and things like that. So, anyway, everyone have a good day and stay sane.